Welcome to Profiletraders. This is Reza and you're listening to my market analysis for July the 20th. Before I go into the details of the profile, I would like to show you something extraordinary disturbing on the daily chart. I want you to look at how in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sessions, pretty much 7 sessions of a parabolic move up, we are now back to record high. And look at the volume down there. When you see such a ridiculous and such a laughable retest of the high on such volume, you must know that you are dealing with a hardcore short-term manipulation. And whenever and for whatever reason this is over with, you should expect a drop that will retrace this move up on no volume 3 times faster than the time that it took to go up. Yesterday I sent a tweet out warning you that any break of the high to new high should be short-lived. And sure enough, when we tried to make a new high up there, overnight high, it was very short-lived. There was absolutely no desire nor a participation from the broad public buying except the Federal Reserve, that disgruntled, the mentally ill, psychopathic bankers of the Federal Reserve, which were probably the only one buying up there, giving people a false sense of security that, you know what, even if the whole world is falling apart, even if the future of the euro is at 1 inch away from being blown away, even if the Chinese economy is in a free fall and a free crash, with all its implications that it will have around the globe, even though that our own economy is in a shrinking mode of a negative growth, you must know one thing: nothing will deter this market. So feel safe, go work like a dog, and at the end of every month when you save your money, give it to a good money manager so he can buy you some shares of Amazon at $500, some shares of Tesla at $280, some share of Netflix stock split adjusted of almost $750. It is criminal. Criminal, and criminal. And I hope that when the next shoe falls, they will hang every single of these Federal Reserve criminals by their ears for a creation of another bubble and by a fake sense of security they are providing to people that nothing is a concern. All that you need to be concerned with is with your greed. The highest and the biggest your greed, the better man and a woman you are. So again, we are at all-time record high on the most ridiculous, laughable volume, on the most severe economic condition that I have seen since the 2007 to 2008, and everything is masked and hidden so that people continue to bring their hard-earned cash into this stinky, fake casino called a free stock market. So from here on, it's going to become extremely interesting, because as they try to break the high here, it completely failed. And as much as they are trying to keep it at these levels, there is very little show of interest. And when this whole masquerade will end, I can assure you that the next leg of drop will put the last leg of drop into shame. And we will drop 3 times, 4 times faster and 3 times to 4 times more in terms of the range of the drop. You cannot force the market to ignore what is going on around the globe. And around the globe, with our own negative rate of growth, holding markets as it is right now, which is pretty much forcing, you are pretty much forced to either only buy, or if you're on the sell side, there is no business for you. We shall see how long they will be able to maintain this. Support number 1 comes in at 21.13. Support number 2 comes in at 21.09, 21.04 and a half, and then finally 2100. But as I said, when this whole scam will end, forget about 2112 and 2108 and 2104. Once it's gonna unwind, it is going to unwind fast, furious, and vicious. As for the upside, I'm not even gonna waste my time analyze where it should go, because nobody knows. I mean, we are in record new territory with the whole rest of the world, including our own selves, going down the toilet, and all we can think about is to chase ridiculous shares like Priceline $40 a day and Netflix $30 a day. I mean, it's just, to be honest with you, disgusting, this kind of a greed. And it's disgusting to see how desperate a Federal Reserve Bank is to not be able to withstand a market correction. Now, let's go to gold. Another example of criminality left unchecked. And this, by the way, this is a profile that I shrink to 50 or I should say 5 ticks a TPO, so that you can see a little bit what happened. Last night it opened and they dropped it from 1131 to 1080, 50 points drop in gold. Now they said it was a Chinese entity selling $2 billion or something worth of gold. Let me ask you this: which son of a donkey, dumb idiot, child would just go ahead and press the button for $2 billion and let the market drop as deep as it wants in order to get rid of his position? Have you ever heard of such a stupidity, childishness? Not me. If you want to get out of a $2 billion position, you just don't press $2 billion sell order and let the market go as low as it wants in order to get you out. Once again, nobody knows what the hell happened last night, why it did happen, who did it, and I can guarantee you it will not be investigated. You know why? Because if tomorrow somebody comes out and takes gold to $20 on a manipulation, not only he will not be investigated, but he will get a purple heart medal, because it is the most beneficial thing for the Federal Reserve to see gold get destroyed. Number one, because they have sold our gold reserves 5 to 6 times over. They have collected the money in exchange for it, and they are in a complete fear that if everybody starts to make a claim on the gold that they sold to them on paper, Fort Knox no longer exists. And my guess that already Fort Knox no longer exists. There is no gold in there. And number two, this is a direct competition against the US dollar, and every dollar that is going to be parked under the metal, it's a dollar that it is not into the pocket of scumbag Goldman Sachs and others in order to take your deposit. give you 1% in exchange for it, and go gamble the rest of the money manipulating markets. So the market is now obviously in a great level of distress. It has nothing to do with supply or demand. It has all to do with criminal manipulation. And obviously, whoever is behind it has his hand completely untied and a very large wallet to just go ahead day after day after day after day, destroy an asset which they know very well a lot of small investors are accumulating in order to protect their wealth against this nonsense, corrupt counterfeiting of dollars, counterfeiting of other currency by overprinting it. So now obviously we close below 1100 for a reason that they are scared. They are scared of what can happen again tonight, what kind of criminal activity could take place over the night tonight. But if by tomorrow we wake up and they haven't broken this recent low, it is such an oversold condition that a bounce could come in, and a bounce that will come in will be significant, possibly 50 points, 60 points, because when you have such an exaggerated drop, the bounces are as well exaggerated on the other side. Now for crude, also same situation. What once was a beautiful trading market has now become a junkyard, garbage yard of program trading, manipulation, daily deception, you name it, it has become. Support now is at $50. If we do breach below that, possible free fall. As long as we do hold below 50, we have now come down from almost what, 50, we have come down from 54.5 to 50, so we have dropped about $4.50 just in the last several sessions. If 50 continues to hold and we are buying, building support down here, I'm expecting a push back up. In order to do anything on the upside, 51.10 needs to be cleared. So there is a now trading range between 50 to 51. Buy the support near 50 by protecting yourself with a 49.80 if somebody decides to buy around 50. I would not risk more than 49.8. And if there is a breakup to come in, it should be above 51.10. And now let's look at a little bit of this dead cat, this, I don't know, you want to call it a currency or whatever you want to call it, this euro. I mean, what can you say, you know? Complete shrinkage of volume, lack of interest, lack of demand. It's just like a dead soul wandering around in the air, a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, a little bit down, completely disorderly. So that one again, its future is very, very uncertain. I have a little bit of a support here at 1.1812. We do not hold that. Then you need to be very much so aware of a big trend line up that will be challenged right around 1.730-ish. That trend line breaks, there will be a whole new can of worm that we're gonna open up, and obviously after that we're gonna come for a retest of this too low, and this too low breaks, kiss this puppy goodbye. Probably we're gonna go crush through parity and then go towards the 0.8 where this young currency started not long ago. Again, wonderful job, politicians of Europe. You guys have managed wonderfully your currency. You should do this a little bit more. How about you go and create another one, huh? Very well done. With that said, everybody be very cautious. This is one of the most atrocious market conditions I have seen all across the board. Extremely horrific, extremely uncertain, with very, very, very little confidence among traders. Have a wonderful evening and talk to you tomorrow.